Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is my platinum guide for Code Vein, a new release from March's PlayStation Plus Essential 2023. It's been out for a few years now, this game, and my quick review, I've really been enjoying this. I started playing the game about a week or so ago to obviously prepare for this, and yeah, I've been quite enjoying it. It's a different take on the Souls formula. A lot of it's very similar, but it's got a lot of sort of different mechanics in play here. It does seem quite complicated at first, but I try to just break through it gently as we go along the game. There is tutorials, but it still seems quite complicated. So what I'm doing first, I'm coming into game settings, and the main thing you want to do is minimap rotation. Turn that off. Yeah, anything else is obviously up to your liking, but minimap rotation, turn that off if you can, because when you're on the minimap, when you're looking at where I'm going, if your minimap is on, it's been switched to not to rotate as well. It should be easier to identify what direction I'm going in. I will have a text guide for this. You'll find it linked in the description, and I'll sort of update it. As I upload a part, I'll upload that part in text as well, so you can go through that as you go along, like sort of checklist if you want. But in there'll be compass directions and such at times, and you can use that as a reference. It's mainly sort of like I said, it's mainly sort of checklists. I've got all the optional stuff which I don't collect, and there's a lot of very good maps on this. Don't take that personal, guys. It's just a name. It'll just sound a bit funny later when there's a specific place you have to go to. You'll see. But yeah, it's a lot of maps on this game. It's a few years old, so I'll link a few of the maps I've been using, so you can actually use them for reference as well, and you can combine that with my text guide. If you want to just skip ahead of the video, or you're just following it in bits, and you just like to refer to different things to look ahead, or for whatever reason, make sure you haven't forgot anything, and say if you happen to watch the full video back again, you can just look through a text guide and make sure you've got everything which is on there. So this is where you begin. Yeah, take your time if you want, take a tutorial. I'll be honest, even if you do this tutorial, the game isn't going to make much sense to you at all. Yeah, it's got builds and that in this, but unlike most Souls games, most RPGs, you can actually swap your builds on the fly, and it's not your normal thing where you level up your level and you pick what stat you want to put it in. This is a lot different. Normally when you level up, it just levels up your HP, like your basic stats, your general stats. But when it comes to your strength, your dexterity, that's all related to your equipment and your armor, which are called veils in this. Yeah, and your blood codes as well. But it will become clear as you go through a game. Like I say, I'll try to explain all as we go through, but just try not to understand it all at once. It's very confusing to get your head around. But this way you first get control, guys. Yeah, stamina gauge is taking the day off today, so yeah. You're going to be a bit slow to begin with.
I am here with you.
Don't worry, movement speed does improve quite a bit after this. You're just walking up to that white tree in the distance. That's called a blood spring.
We're all right.
Yeah, while I've got you and we're just moving along very slowly. There are some missable trophies in this, but as long as you follow me along the way, you shouldn't have any problems. Without complicating it too much, all I will say is there's some endings, so we have to do a minimum of 3 playthroughs. A minimum of 3. That's if you follow my sort of route. So try and keep it nice and optimal. But you can actually mess up some endings if you collect certain things, or kill certain bosses and then restore a certain memory after the boss. That can mess things up. Like I say, I'll run you through it all. But there is a lot of grinding in this. So when you begin here, by the way, pick up that mask, and then this ladder will come down, and then climb up the ladder. Yeah, there is a massive chunk of grinding you have to do. Unfortunately, you can either do it online or do it solo. I'll be showing you a solo method once we get to it. But basically what we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing 1 playthrough, doing 2 endings in that playthrough. You can reload to do 2. There's 4 endings altogether, but you have to do 3 playthroughs for them all. Yeah, we'll do 1 playthrough, get 2 endings, and then we'll do a grinding, and then we'll do the other 2 playthroughs. And what you might want to do, guys, you can't pause the game like most Souls games, but if you open up your camera and then go into make it into a quick shortcut. You can actually make it so you can shortcut your camera. So you just press one button and activate photo mode, and that will pause the game. So what I normally do, put it to open quick item menu and go to the top and turn on the shortcut function. And then all you need to do is press the touchpad if you're playing on PS5, and there you go, pause the game. So it'll be helpful when following me if you just do that, pause the game as you're going along. So first of all guys, grab that lost shard there, S. Come up to this guy and just press square behind him. Get a trophy, drink D. Don't worry if you don't get that now, we'll get that easily later. But that's just a nice way to pop it out of the way quickly. Got another item there guys, lost shard. A lot of these items, they're not necessarily platinum, but they're just going to help us with the way I'm doing this and try and be optimal. I am leaving a lot of stuff. I'm just collecting things which sort of are going to impact my strategies in some way for being optimal or to get more souls for whatever reason. But by all means, if you want to loot everything, you can do. So come to this gate, yeah, so I can see invincible while you're opening gates, and grab that Queen Iron ×1. That's a upgrade material. Open this door. On the left here, it's a yellow book ×1 and geisha noodles. Make sure you get them, very important. I'll mention the trophy there for soon. Get that antique coin ×1 on the left there, and this awake MJ018 ×1 as well. And then climb up the ladder. Up the ladder, there'll be a rotten missile. Interact with it to activate it. You have to activate all of them for a trophy, guys. So yeah, activate that one. Come down here, open the shortcut gate. This takes you back to where you started, but basically, so if you die, you'll spawn back there, and you can just come back up your steps. And then come over here, just drop down with this ledge, there'll be a chest. Inside this chest is a Queen Slayer greatsword. We'll be using that for the boss, so make sure you loot it. Any chest, by the way, chests always contain a weapon or a veil. Just remember that if you see a chest, there's a weapon inside or a veil inside.
Oh.
Once you get here, there'll be a cutscene. That guy will be gone now. So you're just on yourself for the time being. Come along here, go left, dash through these crates to break them, and on the right here it's a awake MJ018. Follow this path, keeping to the right wall, and you come up a slope. Just make sure you grab this regen inducer ×5 before you drop down. Get another awake MJ018 just there, and then start dashing across here, guys. Over here, go up this slope, and you want to grab this. That's a regen extension factor ×1. Basically what they do, they give you more healing uses. That's what they do. Come over here, interact with this missile to activate it. The enemy's still going to be on you. Grab that local pennant next to it, and then come down here, and there'll be an NPC. So come in here. The enemy shouldn't chase you down here, so once you get here, you're safe for the time being. Talk to this NPC once a prompt appears, and let him go with you. Now you've got another ally for the time being. And then what you want to do before you do anything else, just go back to your missile and also equip that Queen Slayer greatsword. But you come back to your missile, interact with it, and that should despawn all the enemies. There you go. Yeah, so equip that Queen Slayer greatsword. You can have 2 weapons equipped at a time, and depending on what weapon you have equipped, that would depend on what your current stats are and such. So Queen Slayer greatsword. You can use that buff at the top, that's adrenaline. That increase your damage a bit. And let's kill this guy. You can block, but you will take a bit of damage when you block from now. And we will get a better block later. All you're doing, you're killing him, because if you may notice, but he had a missile on his head. There's not many enemies like that, but it's a few enemies which you'll have to kill him in order to get the missile and reveal some of the map. And then come up here, guys, drop down there, get that lost shard large ×1. Come around here, we're going to get the well-worn tool ×1, which is over here. That's valuable that you give to people. Yeah, well-worn tool, and then climb up this ladder. You try and get up this ladder without killing anybody, you're probably going to get knocked down the first time. That happens to me a lot, if I'm honest. Probably probably every 3 times I do this, one of them I always get knocked off. But just try and get back on. By the way, when you die, yeah, just come over here, guys, and interact with this blood screen. There'll be a cutscene. When you die, sometimes your ally can revive you, so you always want an ally active.
really be?
And you want to come up here, guys, and trigger this missile. Yeah, this is the natural cavern depths. And then what we're doing now, you want to use the regen activation factor, the lost shard S, both of them, and the lost shard L. So use that regen activation factor, regen extension factor, lost shard large, and lost shard S times 2. Use all them, and then unequip the empty items. Once you use them, guys, interact with the missile and click on acquire / inherit gifts. And then when you come in the fighter tab, you want to unlock blood guard and also unlock focused stamina usage. There you go, unlock them, and then you want to assign them. So focused stamina usage is a passive, put that on the left, and blood guard is say active, so put that in one of the slots on the right. There you go. The reason we're doing this, we're not really going to use them skills much, but there is a trophy for actually inheriting or learning like 50 gifts. And once you come through this door, guys, grab that venom cartridge times 3 on the right. We're going to use them on the boss. Open this door and then go to the top of the steps. If you use items like consumables and then die on a boss, you'll lose them forever. Your regen extensions factor, you can use them again. They'll restock every time you rest. But yeah, any consumables, you will lose them. Here, guys, is a Queen Iron times 1. And around the back here, it's a Awake MJ018 times 1. Yeah, make sure your ally does not die, the stranger. And here's the last missile, guys. That should, after you activate that, it should 100% this map. Yeah, if he's died, you want to really go back to the missile or just quit and reload to spawn back there. And just come back with him alive, guys. This fight can be quite tricky when you're new to the game, especially more so if you have not got an ally with you. Yeah, remember you can block. If you want to play this safe, just try and keep your distance to him and only attack him when he's attacking your ally. And your venom cartridge, you're going to try to use them and inflict venom on the boss. It doesn't last for long. You can see the countdown on the bottom in blue, and you can see at the top underneath the boss bar the venom gauge. When that gauge is all built up at the bottom, that will inflict venom, just like 30% of the damage at a time. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, it does certain ticks. It might be 5% or so at a time of their full HP pool. I'm not sure exactly, but it will just get you nice bit more damage on him just while you're moving away and such. It can be nice. But yeah, I did pretty bad in this fight. But you want to try and keep adrenaline active. That's that skill on the top, on the right. You see them right 4 skills I've got slotted. The top one, you can see it's red. Yeah, that's adrenaline. That increases your attack, I think, by about 10% or so. Keep that active. This is what I mean, the boss, he doesn't really do any range attacks, so as long as you keep your distance. And his aggro will sort of change. Sometimes he'll go after you, sometimes he'll go after your ally. It's quite hard to predict. And normally when it comes to blocking, you can block most attacks which come straight towards you, like, you know, and they're going to hit your weapon. But if it's like an attack which comes from the top, or, you know, something like that, you normally can't block them.
What are you?
And obviously there's some attacks you just can't block anyway. Like I say, that fight can be a little bit tricky to begin with, guys, but things will kind of get a little bit easy later. There'll be a bit more sort of strategy involved, but you'll just have a lot more at your disposal. But yeah, once you beat him, guys, you get a trophy. Oliver Collins. You get Haze times 2,520. You'll get the weapon Juggernaut Sledgehammer, and you'll also get the Berserker Vestige Core times 1 and the Blood Code Berserker as well. I would say when it comes down to the grind, it's going to be over 5 hours at least, pure grinding. So when it comes to your,
For now, just take it easy.
to get a good build in that, I mean, sometimes you can work through things, but if you want to be experimenting with all the different builds and all the different abilities and such, yeah, you got to talk to that girl, Io, the girl in white. Talk to her, choose both options, and then come and talk to Louis. Talk to him a few times, you'll spawn in there, and then come back and talk to him, guys, and you'll get the Prometheus blood code. Yeah, with the grinding and the build, yeah, even if you didn't do the grinding for the trophy, if you wanted to experiment with all the different abilities, you would have to grind. I mean, just doing the platinum, there's still so much more which is not unlocked. But all the guides out there, they advise you to do the grinding after doing everything else, but we're going to do it at the end of our first playthrough. So you're going to get tons of basically haze, which is like your basically souls. And by the way, yeah, talk to Louis, and you want to give him the yellowed book, very important. Talk to Louis, choose exchange, and give him the yellowed book only. This is all very important, I'll explain why in a second. Talk to Io, and give her the local pennant, very important, yeah, local pennant, exchange, give valuable and local pennant. And then come over here to Murasami, whatever her name is, exchange, give valuables, and you want to give her the well-worn tool. Again, very important. And then come over to Davis, guys, exchange with him, and give him the geisha noodles. And then once you've done that, you can go over to your mist. Yeah, so once you get over to your mist, you can switch partner to Yakumo. Yeah, there you go, switch to Yakumo. And then what you want to do, you want to go into Ranger, and you want to acquire, basically interact with the missile, then select acquire / inherit gifts, then select the Ranger. You want to unlock Spoil Spotter. That'd be haste times 560 to do that. You want to unlock Venom Mark, and you also want to unlock Guard Stability. And you want to equip Ranger as your current blood code, and you can put all 4 passives into there. That's it, all 4 passives into the passive slots. And into your gift slots, your active gifts, you want to put Sonic Arrow, Venom Mark, Restorative Offering, Spoil Spotter, and Shifting Hollow. If you've got any other space, you can put something else there if you want, but they're the things which you want to. If you ever got space after what I advise you to put down, that space is free for you to use in any way you want. And then you want to teleport, guys, to the Ruined City Underground Outer Crossroads. Yeah, basically, we won't always be doing it, but beginning with, in these first sort of few videos, you want to always be having, when you're equipping a certain blood code, always equip any abilities from that blood code which is not yet learned, not yet sort of inherited with its full proficiency. Yeah, if you ever got a blood code equipped, and there's abilities which have not got max proficiency, you want to equip them just so they max as you play through. And then once you get here, guys, the outer crossroads, talk to Shang. Yeah, talk to Shang here, just nearby. He'll give you the map, a dent of darkness, which we need, and then keep talking to him until he mentions about digging for rare materials in the depths. And then once he says that about the digging for rare materials, that will mean that his side quest has begun. And then that's what you want to do for now. And then make your way down here, guys, get that Vivifier, which I collected on the way. Yeah, Vivifier, that just basically lets you walk back to the last mist you rested at. And then once you get down here, guys, go left and grab that map's Den of the Blood. And just carry on along the path. Pretty linear. Yeah, I'm trying to explain things and keep up with the speed I'm moving at, but it's proven to be a little bit tricky.
Don't run too far ahead. It's up ahead.
Yeah, so again, I'm not going to be killing any enemies, I'm just going to be sprinting past everybody. When you get here, guys, there'll be a cutscene, and you can unlock this mist. This is the City Ruins entrance, in the ruined city centre area. Right, so going to get Lost Shard medium in front. Come around left, and you're going to get Faded Comics ×1. That's very important. You're going to get Queen Iron ×1. Keep all your upgrade materials from now. We're going to be getting our sword we're going to use for the majority of the playthrough a little bit later, and we'll use them on that. Come up here, grab another Queen Iron, drop off here, and get this Prometheus Vestige Part A. You need to get all these vestiges in the game for a trophy. They're linked to a trophy. And then come along here, guys. Now, trying to dodge attacks. Yeah, it's another item here. That's another Queen Iron times 1. And here you've got a fancy cologne times 1. Yeah, that shifting hollow, try to use that to get out of danger. Just dodge or run. But if you get into trouble, use shifting hollow, because when you're using that, you don't take any damage. Lost shard medium there again guys, times 1. And up here, smash these crates, and then beneath them is a hunter vestige part C times 1, which we want. Around this corner, got a awake MJ109 times 1. I think I died there. Luckily my mate revived me. Now make our way around here. When you rest at a mist, yeah, it will despawn all the enemies. But when you first encounter one, if there's any enemies really close to you, you can't interact with it. But once you get down the slope, there'll be a cutscene. Quickly interact with this mist behind you after the cutscene, there you go. And then just let them kill you, or just move them away from it so you can interact with it. Yeah, but as long as you've activated it, if you die now, you will spawn there. Yeah, them awake MJ items, which we'll get in, they're useful for learning. They're useful for learning gifts without actually killing enemies to do so. Right, so here we are, guys. Just respawn back here. So just got all our ichor back, and just make sure if you do die, you pick up your haze. Because I'm not killing anything, my haze is going to be crucial this first video. Just when it comes to unlocking stuff, yeah, I'm going to be very, very close to only just having enough. So here, smash through them in crates, guys, and you'll find another awake MJ109. Now here, be very careful, you do not walk any further than what I do, otherwise you're going to spawn a massive wave of enemies. Come around here, grab this item, the Hunter Vestige Core, that will unlock the blood code Hunter, but do not run down there anymore. Just grab that Hunter Vestige Core, unlock the blood code, and then come back, otherwise you're going to trigger a massive wave of enemies. So over here, grab the regen extension factor times 1, and then dodge back, and then make our way around here, guys. So up here, loot the back of the car, there'll be a Queen Iron times 1, and then dash through these capsules, because hidden beneath them is a Hunter Vestige Part B times 1. Near this dog is an awake MJ109 times 1, and then follow my lead. Yeah, your ichor, guys, it's kind of like your magic stamina, I guess, your mana. But to refill it, you do get consumables, but unfortunately you can only get so many of the consumables. Yeah, and here, guys, it's a Prometheus Vestige Part C times 1. Make sure you get that. Yeah, consumables, there's not an infinite supply, so you can't really rely on them. You know, if you try to use them on a boss and then you die, you lose them all anyway. But you do get a gift later, which will drain a bit of your HP and refill your ichor. Here, guys, is Fragrant Tea times 1. Make sure you get it. Come around here, dash through these crates for a Hunter Vestige Part A times 1. All these items we're getting, guys, are very important in some way or another. And come to the top of the steps, there'll be a rotten missile. Purify it to reveal more of the map. Smash through these crates and loot this chest for its GXM Assault +1. And then loot the door. Now open the shortcut door. And basically this is a shortcut, guys, back to this missile from earlier. So you can come back here, rest, to despawn any enemies chasing you, and also to refill your ichor. Right, so now back out. We fought that first boss, but other than that, we don't really kill any enemies in this video. But this first sort of 2 parts, we're just running around areas which you can without fighting bosses and just getting all these items, just get ourselves going. So here guys, it's another Awake MJ109, and around this corner guys, it's a Zweihander in this chest. This will pretty much be our weapon of choice for the majority of the game. Yes, Zweihander +1, sorry, ×1. Yeah, pick it up. Now be very careful here, obviously there's a ledge, you can fall off if the enemy's knocked you off. Yeah, so dash along here, and there you want to get the Hunter Vestige Part D ×1, and then quickly make your way back, trying to avoid the enemies at the same time. I know that bit's a bit tricky. That's probably the only bit like that, if I'm honest, where there's like an end edge and you have to run to it and then run back and you've got all the enemies chasing you. So that trophy guys, Together Until Oblivion, that's pretty much story related. Basically you just get that for triggering so many random lines. It's really easy to get. You'll easily get that. Get them flower seeds ×1 guys, which I just got. I'm mentioning what all these gifts are for in a minute, these valuables. I know it's confusing. I'm saying gifts, valuables, and then you've got gifts, your abilities are different. So up here guys, it's a anti-venom ×2. Save them for this butterfly boss, which is going to be in a later video. Yeah, which inflicts venom on you. Almost got, well, I did get killed again, but luckily my mate revives me. Coming in clutch like always. Make your way around here. And you've got another Queen Iron ×1. And up here guys, it's a mist. Just get to the mist. And we're safe. Yeah, maybe you've been killing all the enemies. Yeah, but I'm just trying to keep things fast. Okay, so once you're back here guys, we're going to teleport back to the parking garage in the ruined city centre, the same area. Yeah, so there's gifts which you can give to your friends in the home base. Now just follow my lead. Yeah, we're going back down here and basically taking another path. Yeah, there's not the blood coat gifts, they're different, they're more like abilities. I might just say abilities going forward just to prevent the confusion. But there's like little gifts, they're basically like little items you give to your different allies, and each ally will give you a different number of points. Like one ally might prefer the cheese, but one ally might prefer the faded comic, for example. And then one ally might not like the faded comic, so he might only give you 1 point, where another ally might give you 5 points for faded comic. There guys is Queen Iron ×1, and then carefully drop down this hole. You have to drop down this hole to actually get down to the bottom area. Yeah, so drop down here first and grab that blood barrier tonic ×2. We might need that later, I'm not quite sure, but just get it while you're there. That just increases your blood resistance. And then dash over to this one. Try to take the same path down that I'm doing so, otherwise you're going to miss out on some items. Here you've got another Awake MJ109. You're going to need this. And down here is a condensed lost shard medium. Condensed lost shard. Is it medium or small? Yeah, but be very careful with this one. Make sure your health's not too low, so we'll take a bit of damage. Oh, it's a medium. Yeah, that gives you 1500 haze when you use it. But if you look on my text guide at the top, I've got a list of how much you get from all these sort of consumables. It's quite good at selling stuff. You can sell almost everything in this game to one of the NPCs like Coco or Marasami. Yeah, you can sell most things, but most of these things I'm collecting, it's got a use at some point in the game anyway. Yeah, but the gifts, by the way, that you give to your allies, the allies can randomly give you a present. Yeah, they randomly give you a present just throughout the game, and there's a trophy for getting 30, and they just randomly give them to you. Yeah, so once you get here, there'll be a cutscene. After cutscene, interact with the lever to light a lamp. It's pretty much a beacon which does nothing, but we'll light it anyway. And then use the missile guys and warp back to home base. Yeah, the presents, that's it. I keep getting sidetracked, don't I? Yeah, the presents, there's a trophy for getting 30 in the random, and it's sort of related to every like sort of 10 minutes and let's say 2,000 meters walked, you know, on foot, and then after like that 10 minutes and traveling that distance, there'll be like a proc, like a trigger, like any ally will have like a 5% chance to give you a present. and then once that's triggered, either they give one or they didn't, then it'll start again. This is what I mean by how random it is. But the higher points you have with your characters, basically the higher friendship, the more chance they have to give you a present when that trigger begins, when that trigger actually occurs. Yeah, but talk to Coco now, guys, and give her the fancy cologne. Yeah, so Coco, fancy cologne, and then back out, and then talk to her again. So talk to her, exchange, give valuable, fancy cologne, back out of the chat, of the dialogue, and then talk to her again, and she should give you her blood code, Mercury. Yep, the MCs are always in a random place. It might be somewhere different, but it will be around here somewhere. Yeah, talk to Yakomo next. He'll give you his blood code, which is Atlas. We'll be using that quite a bit, actually, a little bit later. Yeah, Atlas. And then talk to Louis, exchange, give valuables. And you want to give him the faded comics. That'll give 5 points towards him. I'm always trying to give the item, the presents or the gifts, to the NPC that will give you 5 points. That's like the maximum amount. And then once you've done all that, guys, come over to IO and restore vestige, and you want to restore the Hunter Vestige 1, Hunter Vestige 2 and Hunter Vestige 3. You get that trophy, Louis' Memories, and we're also going to get another trophy in a second called Coco's Memories. Yeah, some of the NPCs will give you like 5 points for an item, whereas the same NPC might give you 1 point for something else. But another NPC might give you 5 points for that one. You know, so it's going to be really helpful that you save your gifts for NPCs which I use them on. It's going to help you get their friendship higher, and so hopefully when these triggers do occur for them to give you presents, there'll be a higher chance. Somebody data mined it. I think there's like a 5% chance at just base level, and then I think at 10 friendship there's like a 15% chance they'll give you a present, and then at 25 friendship there's like a 25% chance. So you see what I mean? It's really going to help. But once you've gave all them, once you've restored all them vestiges, which you can with IO, guys, remember Hunter Vestige 1, 2 and 3, very important. You can head over to Davis, select head to the depths, and you want to go to depths, Den of the Dead.
Yes, I'll lead the way. Just tell me where we're going.
There we go, and we're just going to do a few things here, and then that'll be it for the video, guys. Just a few things. We're not going to do the depths yet. We're just going to get here. We're going to get our sort of build ready for now. This is by no means our boss killing build or anything like that. We're just until we get our main items ready, we're just going to try to basically learn some stuff in the meantime, which you need to do anyway for trophies. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to be using that regen extension factor, which we got recently, and we're also going to be using the condensed lost shard M and also the lost shard M ×2. Use all them. By this point you should have about 4,500. If you've not been killing anything, only like what I have, and you haven't died, and you picked up all the items what I did, and then interact with Miss, guys, come into acquire/inherit gifts, and now we're just going to unlock and master a few things. I can see it being a bit complicated when I'm saying to buy some and whether to max proficiency, so I try to mention proficiency when it's regarding that, and when it just comes to learning something I just try to say learning. But that one I just learned blade dance. You don't really need to learn that. I did that as a mistake, and so we don't need to learn blade dance. But what I'm doing here, I've come into acquire inherit gifts, and we've gone on to caster first, and we've actually maxed proficiency on weapon drain rating up. That cost 280, and it also costs MJ 018 ×3. And we've learned Berserker Iron Will. We've just learned it. That's haste times 920. Forget about blade dance, like I say. We learned Hunter Blood Sacrifice. That's haste times 920. We also learned Vivification on Mercury. That's 920. And then we mastered proficiency on Vivification as well. And then what we're doing after, we're just coming into we're equipping Hunter the Hunter Blood Code, then we're going to equip Stamina Boost and Health Boost, passives and anything else you want. And also the active gifts, Ranged Impact, Restorative Offering, Blood Sacrifice, Vivification and Shifting Hollow. And Lupinus Vita. Yeah, basically, always, if there's anything which you can equip and it's not got max proficiency, you always want to make sure you equip them, and then after that it's just any of your like key abilities which you want. But you want that Lupinus Vita because there's a trophy connected to it. But that Vivification we just unlocked proficiency on, so basically when something's got its proficiency maxed, any other blood code can use it, except for certain unique ones where only that blood code can use it. But Vivification, it will allow you to warp back to Mistgeist from anywhere, as long as you got Ica available. But yeah, afterwards guys, just use that Lupinus Vita gift, and with Yakumo you'll get a trophy, Resonant Power guys. And yeah, that'll be it for that video guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.